This was a 33-day cruise which went all the way around Australia, and then we also visited Bali in New Zealand. We arrived in Sydney, which is a city of about 5.5 million people, a day early. And then we did the hop-on, hop-off bus, which is just a nice way to see the city. This guy was really lucky. We just happened to walk by this accident. This was a museum on the history of Sydney, and it was very well done, and we probably spent several hours in there. Nice place. This is the Sydney Harbour Bridge, and it's very famous. It's called the coat hanger because it was so grossly overbuilt long before the days of computers. These are tiles that were used in the construction of the Opera House. I just wanted to show you the pattern of them. They're quite extensive. Port Douglas is where the barrier reef is located, and we decided not to do that because it was several hours by boat out to the reef, several hours back, and we're really not divers. So we decided to bypass that and opt out for a trip up to the rainforest, and that's why we give this information here. This was kind of a crazy attraction. It was a circular water ski area, and I asked if what would happen if they fell off, and they said, well, you will have to walk back. Didn't seem like much of an answer to me. Darwin is the capital of the Northern Territory, which is like a state. It has a population of 138,000, and it gets very hot during their summers. Darwin is an interesting city. It was heavily bombed by the Japanese during World War II. In fact, more bombs were dropped on Darwin than on Pearl Harbor. However, there was a greater loss of life at Pearl Harbor. Bali, Indonesia is a very popular vacation spot for people from Australia because it's close by and it's rather inexpensive. This was wild. It looked like this hose was attached to this guy's feet and then was pulled around by a boat. Looks like something our kids would enjoy. Geraldton is a small community, a population of about 35,000. There's not a great deal to do there. Their main claim to fame was the sinking of a light cruiser, Sydney. there during the Second World War, and they have a monument to that in the city. Australian prices for food are quite high. A pint of strawberries would be $5, so everything is very expensive down there. And of course, the prices are in Australian dollars, and the measurement is in kilograms. Fremantle was the port for Perth because you had to ride a train some distance to reach the city, and we did not care to do that. We went on a wine tour to Margaret River, and that's why most of our slides are being displayed here. Adelaide is a nice city. It's a population of about 1.3 million, and it is the capital of South Australia, which is like a state. The city was very well laid out. We had to take a train into the city, but it was a very pleasant ride. Melbourne is the capital of Victoria, which is another state in Australia, and it's a city of a population of about 4.4 million people. It has one of the largest streetcar systems in the world, with over 200 miles of streetcars throughout the city. It is a very pleasant town, and we thoroughly enjoyed it. This was our first stop in New Zealand at Fiordland National Park, which is in the south end of the South Island. It's a very beautiful area with numerous fjords and a lot of fantastic scenery. Dunedin is located on the South Island in New Zealand and has a population of about 128,000. It's a very nice city. This was really a neat train station. It's all done up in tiles in ceramic type of works. We really enjoyed our visit there. Turning colder now, we can notice the earmuffs on Elle. This was a very ornate railroad station. It's all done up in mosaics and tiles. It was really quite beautiful. This was really a great museum. It dealt extensively with the history and culture of New Zealand. This is a neat little town which connects the North and South Islands. Picton has a ferry that runs between that community and Wellington, and it also serves as a main road going into the South Island. It was really a neat little town. They had a lot of nice shops. It's a big tourist area, and we had a delightful time. We had lunch there and just kind of people watched. Wellington was the last stop before returning to Sydney at the end of our cruise, and Wellington is the capital of New Zealand, and we've been there before, so we joined another couple to go up on a cable car and just visit the city for a little bit. We had a very nice time there. I took these photographs of Brisbane after we lifted off, and that was our departure point from New Zealand back to Sydney, Australia at the end of our cruise.